Hello, I'm Phil Svitek, 360 Creative Coach. And in this episode, I want to tackle this notion that we get asked in kind of different phrasing, but overall the sentiment is, especially like in high school, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? Okay? It's, and it's meant to kind of give us our trajectory of, what our passion is in life in terms of the work we want to do. Now, before I fully get into how to approach this, I would like to take the opportunity to invite you to subscribe if you haven't already. That way you get all the various lessons and episodes that I put out right when I put them out. Thank you if you just did, and also thank you if you already were. It means a lot to me. So let's talk about this, right? So it's meant to set you on your path to clarify things for you. But the problem with this question in a lot of ways, it's similar to almost asking like, what would you do if money wasn't a factor, right? And kind of saying it in both those terms, it like allows you to go after something that is glamorous simply because of the notoriety, right? And I think a lot, in some sense, a lot, whether it's the entertainment business, whether it's activism, whether it's like in all things in life, I think too often times we look at the whoever we're looking up to, and we look at the tip of the iceberg, but we don't see all the things that go into it. And so Seth Godin has this notion: instead of asking ourselves, what will we do if we knew we couldn't fail? Instead, to ask ourselves, what would we do even if we knew we were going to fail? Because by doing it that way, it defines for you what is most worth doing in your life. If you're going to fail at anything in life, what is it still that is at least worth, the aggravation? Like what will bring you joy even if you fail? And I think that's a very powerful way to look at it, because then it might seem like a simple switch, but it's a fundamentally different question, because again, then the pressure is off of it. You might think like, oh, well, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? It's like, oh, the pressure's off. It's like, no, that's so much pressure, because now it's like, what's the thing that's like most worthy, so that I can be recognized for it. It almost like, to me, it speaks to the ego. Whereas, what would you do knowing that if you did it, you still would fail? That seemingly simple switch is so fundamental, because it showcases, what is worth getting up in the morning regardless of the outcome. And that is very, very powerful. And so really think about that. And in fact, write about it. I think too often times we think about things, but we don't write it down. And to me, it's in writing down that we then start to then be able to take action, or at least start to see all these different things. Oftentimes, like I have a friend, and I advised him, like, I don't want you to do anything. I want you to just write down certain things, whatever comes to mind, and then eventually you'll see these patterns emerge. So this is not, I'm not posing this question and then you'll be able to all of a sudden answer it within 2 minutes. This is a question, right, that is meant to be thought about. And so really give the time it needs, and feel free to write about it for a whole day, for over the course of a week, or even over the course of a month, and really start to see what patterns emerge and what really is purposeful to you, regardless of whether you'll succeed or not. And when you figure that out, holy shit, man, like it's really a game changer. And I look at the stuff that I'm doing, I'm like, yeah, holy fuck, this is the shit I want to be doing regardless of the outcome. I don't ever wake up of like, I'm doing this because I want to be successful. I'm doing this because this is what I love doing, and I would do regardless. And when you get to that place as an artist, you're unstoppable. You define what success means for you, and that's a beautiful thing. So that's the message I have for you today. I really hope you take it to heart. If you have any questions about this notion, by all means ask, whether down in the comment section or hit me up on social media at Phil Svitek. Or if you want to just offer up 2 cents, that's cool too. I would love to converse with you. I really would. If you think this episode might be of benefit to someone in your life, well then share it with them. I certainly would appreciate it, and I hope they do too. Anyway, I appreciate you and hope this helps you. Hope to see you next time.